Hey guys, it's Kristin. I am excited to be here with you guys on this Tuesday morning. I've taken a little video break as I've been doing some traveling. I was down in Mexico spending some time in the warmth and sunshine. I'm back now in Colorado and excited to get back and do some videos for you guys. You guys gave me some great insight on topics that you were really interested in hearing more about, and today's topic is one of those. I'm going to be talking all about how to really get started in your business, what to focus on, what actually helps you move forward, what actually helps you get clients, really what affects your bottom line as to why we're starting a business, and what are those things that might be like those shiny objects that are things that we think we need to focus on or spend time and attention on, but they really don't get you moving anywhere in your business. Because I see this happen to so many people. It's really confusing when you're getting started because there's so many different things to be focusing on. So I want to help you guys know like exactly what really is important. So what I see happen to so many people when they're getting started is that a lot of new entrepreneurs end up really like spinning their wheels and not knowing where to focus, kind of jumping from one thing to another, and feeling really frustrated, getting really stuck in indecision. So indecision is a huge one. And as you guys may know, you may not realize this, like we a lot of times use indecision as a protection mechanism because we're afraid of making the wrong decision or we're afraid of moving forward with something. So we're like, oh, I can't decide yet, or I need to figure this out before I move forward. And it can be a really tricky trap to get stuck in. And so a lot of times your mind will say like, wait, you don't know what to do, or you may do the wrong thing. So let's just kind of keep you stuck here. And so I want you guys to be aware of that because this happens so much when you're getting started. And it's around a lot of the little details and things. I'm going to go specifically into what those are that keep so many of us stuck and keep us from doing the actual work that really moves you forward as far as getting those clients and getting that income coming in your business. So analysis paralysis, that's pretty much just like indecision too, but where you're like, should I do this or should I do that? Should I, call myself this or should I call myself that? Should I use this as my domain or that? Like these little things that are like really not important in the whole scheme of things, but really keep us stuck from moving forward. The other thing is like wasting money on a lot of like little trainings or little things here and there, without really getting the big plan as far as how everything's going to work together. And I see a lot of people do that, and I get it because I did the same thing when I was getting started. I was like, it felt scary to spend money in my business, especially in the beginning because everything was new and I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And but what I hear from so many people and what I experience myself is that you're much better investing in things that are really going to help you piece everything together and give you all the information that you need and the support that you need, as opposed to trying to cut corners and save on your costs and not really getting the support that you need to move forward and trying to piece everything together yourself. So, because I work with a lot of people who have tried to do that and then they come to me and, they just have these bits and the pieces, but they don't really know how everything works together. Like I said, I get it too because I've been there. But I would say that's something that I've learned not to do. You're much better off just like investing and getting the support. If you're really serious about wanting to make an income from your business, and really make like a full-time income from it, like it's for sure worth it to get the support you need. Watching a million free trainings, kind of the same thing, like all the free webinars, ebooks and stuff, like all that stuff is great. It can be great to a certain extent. And you're going to get valuable little bits and pieces from it. But same thing, it's only giving you bits and pieces. It's not giving you everything that you need. So just be aware of that. This goes along with like shiny object syndrome too. So when you're like jumping from one thing to the next, like ebook trainings, watching a little bit of everything, trying to put pieces together and just ending up, confused and frustrated. Like just not the way to do your business if you're really serious about making it an actual business where you're able to make an income. Like you got to treat it serious then. So the other thing is forever researching. So this goes along with the indecision, but if you're forever like researching things and trying to figure things out and trying to decide the best way to do things, like this is just your mind's way of keeping you stuck and keeping you from actually doing the work that's going to get you those clients. So recognize this, because your brain is tricky, and often it doesn't want you to move forward with your business because it doesn't want you to take risk. It doesn't want you to do something that it doesn't know what the outcome is. Our brain always wants us to stay the same. And so anytime you start anything new, like a business, your brain is going to start firing off these messages that's like, wait, don't do this. You have to figure this out. Like, you're not sure, like, and so be aware of that, because you have to start to master those thoughts and not allow those things to stop you. So those are like the big places where I see people get stuck, really in the beginning when you're trying to figure out what to focus on. And what happens is that most people spend their time, money, and energy on the things that don't really matter, the details that don't really matter when you're getting started in your business. So I like to say, spending so much of your time and focus and energy on the behind the scenes things that aren't the things that actually get you out there in front of potential clients. And so the things that I see people get stuck on, to give you some examples, and these are some of the things that people were bringing up. So I want to address them, and I'll give you guys some tips for them and some things that I think are important. But these are the things where I really see people get stuck. So in things like web design, and there's a lot of people that will hire people to do their websites or and spend lots of money on their websites and stuff. And this is not a place where you want to be spending a ton of time and money, because your website is pretty much just a landing page and is not a way that you're going to drive traffic. You cannot create a website and people aren't going to magically find it out there. You can create a website and no one will ever find it ever, like, unless you're driving traffic to it. So to spend a bunch of time and money and energy on a website is not a smart thing to do when you're getting started. So I want to put that out there. Creating a bunch of really fancy programs. Someone was asking me about, do you need a health coach support like tracking system or some sort of fancy program on your computer or something? No, no. You don't need any of that stuff. You want to keep things really, really simple when you're getting started. You don't need any of that stuff to get clients or to run your clients through a coaching program. Do not put your time, attention, your money towards those things when you're getting started. Trying to figure out like what your web domain name is, or what you call your Facebook page or your Facebook group, or what you call yourself. Like, do I call myself a health coach, a transformational coach, a life coach? Like, do not worry about those things. Like, those things do not really matter. And so don't allow yourself to get stuck trying to decide on those things before you move forward, because none of those are important in the whole scheme of things. Creating some sort of logo, or like goes with like the web design and stuff. Do not do that. Okay. I want to stop you guys from doing these things that do not matter and will not help you move forward. Okay, so some of the other things that people were asking about, kind of like the nitty gritty behind starting your business, as far as like setting up an entity, which can mean like an LLC, a sole proprietorship, an S Corp, what kind of like legally establishing your business. And this is what I will say. So I am not, I don't have a background in law and whatever. So I'm just going to say like kind of what I've learned from my own experience, but I think you need to check with like a lawyer and whatever, because every country is different, every state is different, to really know what's best for you. But I don't in any way think that it's necessary to set this up before you get started, because the thing is, like, actually get started and start getting some clients and stuff, and then set that stuff up so that you actually make sure that you're moving forward in your business before you get stuck in all this stuff as far as like the legalities of your business. Because you can just run your business as a sole proprietorship or like doing business as, and you don't even really necessarily need to officially set that up. So it is something you can do. If you do set up an LLC, it protects your assets as being separate from your personal assets. Your business assets are separate. So I do think it's something that you could potentially want to set up. Hey, Carla, I'm glad you're here. But it's not something you need in the beginning. And I think you're much better off focusing on things that are going to get you clients in the beginning than getting stuck in all this stuff. And if you are going to set up an LLC or some sort of official, business entity, literally it takes you like 10 minutes. So just go and do it and get it done. And don't make like all this drama about it, because that's where all of us get stuck, in this indecision. Like, should I do it? How should I do it? Like, you literally can just get on your computer and file it. It's super easy. So don't make a bunch of drama out of it. Hey, Whitney, thank you. Yeah, I had my hair in braids last night, so it's a little wavy. Okay, so what else? So taxes and accounting. I will tell you guys this. Like, this is something I was super freaked out about when I was getting started in my business. I was like, oh my gosh, what about like taxes? What about accounting? Like, I don't really like that stuff. I'm not really that great at that. I actually had someone come and try to show me how to use QuickBooks, and I was like, oh my God, this makes me want to poke my eyes out. And so this is what I can say. I have a separate checking account, a business checking account for my business. All of my income goes into that account. All of my expenses go out of that account. At the end of the year, I print out my accounts and I do my taxes from that. It is simple. I don't do any accounting. Like, you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. If you have everything going in and out of one checking account. So if you actually set up your business as an entity, then you can set up a business checking account, because you need to have an EIN or a tax ID number to do that. But otherwise, you could just set up a separate checking account. It doesn't have to be a business checking account. It could be a separate personal checking account. Have all your expenses go in and out of that account, and it keeps your accounting super easy, because all of your expenses from your business will be separate. So that is what I recommend. So you guys, don't get stuck in these things. Like, they're minor details, and you'll figure them out, and they're not like, they don't have to be this big drama that we make out of them. Hey, Annie, so glad you're here. So let me see what else people asked. People asked about like scheduling. Like, yes, you can use a scheduler. I like Calendly, but I can tell you this too. I did not use a scheduler for the first at least year of my business. And so same thing, don't get stuck in that. Don't let that stop you. You don't need it. It's a tool, but it's not necessary. ClickFunnels, no, you don't need that. Like, way too complicated. I think it's like $100 a month or more or something like that. Like, not necessary to start your business in any way. So don't waste money on things that aren't really going to be important for helping you get clients and income coming in. Like, those are tools you can use eventually if you want to, but they're not at all necessary. So let me think if there's anything else. Liability, once again, LLC will keep your assets separate. I always make sure you have everyone sign a coaching contract. I think that's really important. You can get some sort of liability insurance if you want to. You can ask someone about that. Like I said, every state's a little different and stuff, so I can't really like advise you on that stuff. Like, it's something you'd have to check into like within your state. But don't allow it to be something that becomes this big drama and keeps you stuck from moving forward. Let me see what else. Someone asked about email list management. I like MailChimp. It's free, super, super easy. Yeah, it wastes your time too. Definitely, Whitney, like, for sure. So many of these things are just like, and really what wastes the biggest time is the indecision of them. So if you really want some of these things, like, just decide and do them and move forward with them. And if you decide later that you need to change them or you want to change them, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. When you can start to embrace that, the fact that starting a business is about trial and error, it's about like trying things out, maybe having them fail and then trying something different, then you're free to move forward in your business. But when you're so afraid of making mistakes, so afraid of doing the wrong thing, so afraid of getting help, so afraid of spending money in your business and trying to do everything free on your own and figure it all out on your own, these are the things that are going to keep you spinning your wheels, keep you stuck forever, keep your business like, I'm not saying you absolutely need help to start your business, but if you try to do it all on your own, it's going to take you probably 10 times as long. So it's just something to keep in mind, because too, you don't really know what to focus on. So even if you do get help, you're going to have to do the trial and error, because everything's a little different for all of us. but the amount of trial and error you're gonna have to do if you try to figure everything out on your own is gonna be way, way, way bigger. So it's just something to keep in mind. And, you know, one isn't necessarily right or wrong, but it depends on if you want to spend years and years and years starting and figuring out your business, because that's a lot of times what happens, or if you're like, boom, I want to make this happen and get it up and running. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions about any of that. I want to give you guys some tips on what to focus on that's actually going to make all the difference. So these are the most important things, the things that are actually going to lead you to getting results in your business, to getting those clients and that income coming in. And so these are the things I really want you guys to focus on, not on all the details that I was just talking about. Like, those are things that you can literally get done in like give yourself a day, and all the stuff I just talked about, you could get all those things just done, and then you don't even need to think about them anymore. Hey, Andrea, so glad you're here. So the things to focus on. Number one, I think this is absolutely number one. It's the commitment. This is more of a decision. It isn't necessarily something to focus on, but it's a commitment to your business and a commitment to make your business work. I think this is number one most important, because if you are in a place where you decide, I'm going to make my business work, I'm in this 100%, I have both feet in, I don't have one foot in and one foot out, and I'm like, it would be nice if this would work, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Like, you know, I'm just kind of trying it out, I'm just kind of tiptoeing into it. I can just tell you, like, just either commit to your business and decide you're going to make it work and you're totally in, or you know, if you're not, that's fine, but just know that you're going to move forward so much slower with things, and you're probably going to end up quitting and giving up because starting a business is challenging. So I think when you're committed to it, then you're really able to follow through. You're able to do the things that are going to be challenging, because you're going to be facing things that are challenging when you're starting a business. So number one, I would just make that commitment, so that you're not stuck in this place of like one foot in, one foot out, and when things get hard or challenging, you're just gonna give up. So that, I think, is really important. It's truly what made the difference for me, because I knew for me, like, starting a business is hard for anyone. It was for me as well, but I was totally committed to it, because I was like, I know this is what I'm meant to be doing. I want this freedom and flexibility in my life. And so I jumped in both feet and was just like, I'm going to do what I need to do to make it work. And so I think when you have that commitment, you're coming from a totally different place, and your experience of starting your business is going to be really different. And really what this comes to too is just believing in yourself and believing that you can do it. And all of us can, like, any of us can create whatever we want. So give yourself the benefit of really believing in it. And coming from a place, I think, of, if I already was in this place in my business, wherever you want to get with it, creating everything in your business from that place. So becoming the person. So let's say, like, my goal was to make, $5K per month in my business. So becoming that person who is making $5K in my business, and making my decisions and acting from that place. Like, what would I be doing? Who would I be if I were in that place already? And when you come from that place, as far as making decisions in your business and what you're doing, you're going to feel a lot different and be a lot more confident. So really work into stepping into being that person. Okay, so that was more of like the mindset piece, but it's really, really important. So these are actually like tips as far as what to be focusing on. So number one is messaging. You, instead of focusing on like your website and design and like all those things, like, know your messaging. Number one, like, know who your ideal client is, who you're working with, and how to communicate what you do and how you help people to this population. This is so important. Like, you can't do anything else in your business until you understand this and know how to communicate this effectively. And I see a lot of people like jump to creating a website and jump to creating programs and stuff before they even know who they're working with and what it is that they're offering and how it helps people. So when you really understand your messaging and understand how to communicate it to people, this is marketing magic, because people see it, they see your messaging, they see what you're saying, and they really resonate with it. And they're like, she totally gets me. She gets what I'm struggling with. she understands it. She's been where I've been, and has gotten to the other side and knows how to help me. So this is really important, and it makes your marketing super effective, and it allows you to market effectively so that you don't feel like you're having to be salesy or pushy or like talking people into working with you, any of that stuff. Like if you have really good messaging, your messaging sells itself. And so I think this is number one, really, really important to focus on that. Okay, so number 2 is getting leads. So instead of focusing on like creating content, like content creation can be important, and I'm going to talk about that. But really, we need to make sure that we're building up your community and getting you in front of the people you want to be working with. So I say that's called like getting your leads, or really like building your tribe. But we need to make sure that we're getting you in front of those right people. I really like teaching people how to use Facebook's ads for this, because it's such an amazing tool. It allows you to really pick who you want to get in front of and get your messaging in front of those people and build that tribe. Of course, there's other things. You can give talks and workshops if you're more interested in doing local things, and that can work as well. But making sure that you're getting in front of the right people is super important. So this is something you definitely want to be focusing on in your business. The third thing, then this is around building content. But once you get in front of those people, then you need to build your know, like, trust factor, and you want to get known as the expert. So this once again goes into your messaging, as I was talking about too. Like, really understanding what your community is looking for, what they're struggling with, what they want the end result to be, and really creating your content around this. Creating content that's really engaging, that people want to participate with, that they find helpful. This really allows you to be known as the expert in a certain area, and for people to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And I do really like video for this, as I'm doing video right now, but I think video is one of the best way for people to like get to know you and see you. And so I think it's a great tool to use in your business. So the next one is setting up consults. So you need to make sure you're actually doing calls to action and saying, hey, like, sign up for a free call with me, sign up for a free consultation, free discovery call, clarity call, whatever you want to call it. Consultation works fine because people understand what that is, but let them know, like, I can help you with this. Sign up for a time to speak with me, and we can talk about how that works. So you need to make sure that you're actually telling people to sign up for a call with you, or telling them to sign up for a consultation with you, and that you help people and you can help them with this problem. Because if you don't say that at all, you can't just assume people know that, because they don't. So it's really important to practice making these calls to action. Practice telling people that you can help them. Practice telling them to sign up to work with you. And I think being bold behind saying those things is important too, because it shows confidence. So definitely a very important part in your business. And then the last part is knowing how to actually have successful sales calls, successful consultations, like understanding the process that you walk someone through when they're interested in working with you, and how you actually go through the process of understanding what it is that they need, getting them clear on their goals, and telling them how you can help them. So that's really kind of the main parts of having a successful sales conversation. But you really want to understand how to do that, because these are the necessary pieces for someone to actually become a client. And that's why I say, like, this is really what you want to focus on, instead of kind of all that, like, kind of the nitty-gritty background stuff of having a business, which is fine, and you can set that stuff up, but just quick do it and get it done, because that stuff isn't really that important. What's really important is your process of actually getting out there and getting those paying clients. Like, that's really what you want to be focusing on, because unless you have that in place, and unless you're doing that, none of the other stuff matters. Like, why set up an LLC? Why create a website? Why do any of that stuff if you're not actually going to go out there and get those clients? And that's why I think really that's what you should focus on first and start with, and you could go back and like do the other stuff then too. But a lot of people use, like, I don't know what to do about this, I don't know how to set up my business, as really like an excuse to keep you from moving forward with the stuff that seems more scary, which is like actually putting yourself out there and getting visible. So And the other thing that I want to remind all you guys is that, and I say this to my clients all the time, but done is better than perfect. And you need to say that to yourself all the time when you're starting and running a business, because nothing is ever perfect. And if you try to make everything perfect, you will never get anything done, and you will stay stuck forever spinning your wheels. So I would write yourself a sticky note, like paste it all over your house, put it on your computer screen. Done is better than perfect. And really make the goal to get things done and keep moving forward, as opposed to trying to perfect everything or trying to figure everything out right, because I think that's really, really, really important. So do you guys have any questions about any of that? If you do, let me know. If you feel like you're getting stuck in some of this stuff and you really want support with moving forward, you want to know like how to set up these systems, how to actually put effective systems in place around your messaging, getting really clear on your messaging and who you help, knowing how to use Facebook ads to get leads in your business, how to create powerful content, how to have powerful sales conversations with people. These are the things I help all my clients with, like step by step by step. And so if you are in a place where you don't want to be trying to figure it all out on your own, this is what I help people with. And so I'd love to speak with you about it. I'd love to set up a time where we can connect. You can tell me more about your business and your vision, and I can see if I would be a good fit for helping you with that. So if you're interested in that, I will put a link and you can sign up for a free call with me. Actually, I'll put it right here now. But did any of you guys have questions? Anything I didn't cover? Anything you were wondering about? Anyone who's still watching? Done is better than perfect. Yes, it's such a good one. Like, write it everywhere. Because, I mean, I can't say this enough, but starting a business really is about trying things. Like I said, I think it's really important to have a plan, and I can't suggest working with a business coach enough, whether it's me or someone else. I think it's 100% worth it if you're really serious about your business. I mean, I've worked with business coaches the whole time I've been running my business. Almost entirely since I've started my business, working with business coaches, because it really is helpful. It's really hard to figure everything out on your own, to not have anyone to bounce ideas off of. Hey, Whitney, thank you so much. Carla, thank you. I'm so glad you found it helpful. But it really helps to just have someone to kind of be in your corner and helping you out and directing you. Because none of us are born knowing how to run a business, knowing how to continue to grow your business. Like, it's all stuff that's really helpful to learn from someone else. So who's already done it. So if you guys have any questions, if you catch the replay and you want to know anything, let me know. If you think of anything else that pops up that I didn't cover that you are wondering about, feel free to pop it in. Yeah, Whitney, a biz coach is a game changer for sure. It's always good to have some help with those things. Claire helped you loads today. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And I saw you said you're in the UK, so I'm sure it's a little chilly there as well. But yeah, if you guys think of anything else you have questions with, let me know. If you're interested in getting some support with your business, click on the link. It's in the comments. I'd be happy to help you out, help you see, what steps you can actually start taking to really move forward with things and have a clear plan in place. It makes all the difference. I promise you that. Don't try to put on yourself that you have to figure it all out on your own, because it's like silliness. It's like, there's not very many people that start a business without getting help. Pretty much anyone who starts any sort of business gets support. So I think a lot of us think like, ooh, I need to figure it all out on my own, or I should be able to figure it all out on my own. Like, no, we don't do anything like figuring it all on our own. We spend years and years going to school. We don't learn anything about starting a business. Like, we're never taught any of that stuff. We're never taught about like taxes and, money and like the stuff that actually really helps you in your life. So, don't be afraid to reach out and get help with that. I've spent way less money on my business than I did on my college degree, and my business education has been way more helpful than anything I learned in school. And so totally worth it. So just kind of shift that mindset around it so that you give yourself permission to get the help and the support and invest the money that you need to make your business successful, because it really can be when you have the time and the attention and the support you need. So, all right, guys, like, you can totally do this. Like, I'm excited about all you guys getting out there and starting your businesses. There's so many people out there that need help around health and mindset, and coaching is freaking amazing. I think it's the most important thing that we could get out there in the world, because it changes people's lives in so many ways. So I'm super excited to help you guys, like, get your business out there and start helping people and creating the income that you want and the freedom and the lifestyle you want, because that's what I'm all about too. And I think it's super important. So, all right, guys, thank you everyone who joined me today. I love chatting with you guys. I'm excited to be back here doing some videos. You're welcome, Annie. It's so great to see you on here. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And like I said, any questions, let me know. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.